guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing the Invocations by Krystal Sutherland. I've already filmed this review and annoyingly one of my clips got deleted, so this is why it's very late, and if it's a little bit frazzled, a little bit run through, then that's because I've already done it and I begrudge doing it again, right? So this was very kindly gifted to me by Hotkey Books. This is what the cover is going to look like, and it is out in January. Hopefully this review is also out in January, so you know, we're all in line. But yeah, so without further ado, well, let's get into it. So before we continue, I have to say that this review has been in no way skewed by the fact that that copy was gifted to me. And here is the plot to familiarise yourself with. This is a YA fantasy thriller with 3 point of views from each of the characters. I saw this review on Goodreads and I have to agree with it. It is a fantasy thriller full of queer witchy darkness driven by female rage. I can't take credit for that snippet because I got that off Goodreads and I couldn't think of a better way to describe it. If I find the reviewer, I'll put it here or in the description, but that just summed this up for me perfectly. I just want to say, in the book it is obviously about serial killer and there is a little bit of gruesomeness and like bodily harm and stuff, so check your trigger warnings before reading, check the warnings before gifting this to maybe younger readers. But I absolutely loved the gritty darkness and kind of more, I don't know, unpretty side of witchcraft. So I really like the fact that in this book they switched witchcraft around, so only females can practice witchcraft, but it doesn't come from the nature, from Mother Earth. There is no kind of balance in that sense. And it isn't just something inherently in people, it's something that you actually have to do a spell and tether yourself to a demon for, and thus that tethering takes some years or some time or wear and tear on your soul. And I was like, oh, I like this. Another thing I really like is the inclusivity, especially how Sutherland encompasses women. So you're thinking, oh, only women? What about the trans women? That line is in there already, and all she says, to sum it up really nicely, that the demons don't care about the vessel, only the soul. So you could be a trans woman who is still in their male outer form, but you could still practice magic because inside in your soul you are a woman. So I really liked how she just kind of quieted that little statement and then carried on, and it was literally one line and she didn't make a big deal out of it, and I really liked that. This was a book really about toxic masculinity and its impact on society as well as both genders. So it's not just men are awful, they hate women, blah 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 blah. It's, you know, there is this unbalance of power, and this is how it's affecting both sides. So I like it when that happens, because I'm not the type of person that just thinks men are awful, because they are not, alright? Not all of them. The writing was so good. I have not read her other book, but people rave about that one. But the writing in this, oh, I could just see everything. It wasn't over described, but just enough that I could picture it and that I felt things, and the sentences kind of deviated from really short to really long and descriptive, and it was just really nice. I liked the chapter length. Yeah, it was a book that had me gripped, and the writing definitely had a part to play in that. And kind of tying in with that, I would definitely say that this is a plot-driven book rather than a character-driven book. I will go on into that in a little bit. But yeah, I was not really that invested in the characters, let's say. Moving on to the characters, there's 3 central characters, and they are effectively thrust together by their own circumstances, and all of their stories are linked together because of one of the characters, I would say. I really love a story where you have multiple point of views, you have multiple characters who all of a sudden end up having to link up, and I really like that. The only thing I do wish was that Sutherland kind of went into a little bit more depth of the characters, and their kind of like inner feelings. So I didn't really care for the characters as much as I felt like I should have, because, you know, one of them had their sister murdered, one of them had their whole family murdered in a very gruesome way and was being hunted by witch hunters. Like, I should be feeling more. So that's why I think in my eyes it's a plot driven book, because I was invested in the plot and I was very, very, very just like interested. And also the romance side of things kind of annoyed me a little bit, that there was the fleeting comment here or there between a character that would describe the love interest, but it didn't really take shape and it didn't really impact the story that much. So I kind of feel like, why put it in? Is it put in just to tick the queer box? Is that all? Because the first, obviously the characters don't really like each other, and then all of a sudden she looks into her eyes and they're no longer a muddy brown, they're a golden brown full of little hazel flecks or something, and you're like, come on, this is not it. And then yeah, I don't really like the romance. As someone that loves romantasy and a long and burning romance, I just could have done without this one. It didn't really add anything. It's not like it was key to the plot, in my opinion. I could have done without it, really. But yeah, I have to say, overall, I really, really did enjoy the book. I love the positioning of witchcraft and magic and the darkness that kind of encompasses that. I love the plot twist at the end, which I did guess about halfway through, but it's not obvious. Like, it's only obvious if you kind of pay attention to the details. But I did like that, and I did really love the twist and how the ending unfolded. But yeah, I definitely think there could have been more depth to the characters. She could have pulled out more emotion from me, and she didn't. But that's okay, because I still enjoyed the book. And that is my review of the Invocations by Krystal Sutherland. If you've read it, please let me know what you think in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye!